Hello, my dear students. I would like to welcome you in English 802 for the Vocational Education. We're going to start today with Unit 7, Lesson 6, Write a Descriptive Email. Before I start the lesson, we're going to identify three main objectives for today. The first one is to identify descriptive adjectives and sensory details. Second one is to identify the layout of a descriptive email, and then we are going to write a descriptive email. So, before I start, let me ask you a very common and easy question. What are the 5 senses? And I'm so sure that you know the answer because you have taken this previously. Let's see. Number 1, looks. Using your eyes, you can see some things. Sounds. It's related to the things that you hear. It could be singing or the sound of birds, for example. 3, smell. It's about the things that you smell. For example, you could smell food or the fresh air. 4, it's the taste. It's about the things that you eat and taste. Or it's not necessary that you're eating them. Maybe they describe to you something and you could imagine the taste. Last but not least, feel. It's about the things that you touch and you could tell us how does it feel, or a feeling comes to you when you see or try something. Now, do you think the 5 senses are essential in describing something? Or in other words, is it important to include the sensory details when you describe something? The answer is definitely yes. They are essential because they help the reader see, hear, feel, smell, or taste what is being described. In other words, the sensory details make your description come alive. I will give you a task related to the sensory details. You can see here at the blue box, you have some items or some words. I will ask you to classify these words into the schedule that you have down. You have 5 senses and you have to classify the items into the table. I'll give you a minute, try to do it. So, let's check the answers together. Let me read before I give you the answers. Sparkling water, hot sun, bakery, fresh bread, cinnamon rolls, traditional drawing, sweet and buttery, calm music. So, my dear students, let's check the answers. Number 1, the look sense. Here is the items. We can see sparkling water, we can see traditional drawing, and we can see a bakery. Anything that you can see is classified as looking sense. Let's move to the second one, which is sound. Calm music is classified in sound sense. Number 3 is the smell. Bakery, you can smell, for example, the baking stuff from the bakery. You can smell fresh bread. You can also smell cinnamon rolls. Let's move to the 4th sense, which is the taste. Again, cinnamon rolls is repeated in the taste sense. Why? Because you could smell it and you could eat it. Also, the same thing with fresh bread. And let's see the adjectives here. Sweet and buttery are classified as taste. Last one is the feeling sense, and the hot sun is the best answer for feeling, as you can feel the heat from the hot sun. Now, let's move to the second objective, which is the layout of a descriptive email. And as you know, each writing should have 3 main paragraphs: the introduction, the body, and the conclusion. But of course, the content is different from a topic to another. Let's see what is the layout of descriptive email. Introduction. As you can see, it's written here, informal greeting. Pay attention to the word informal. Why is it informal? Because you're going to write it to a friend or your sister. It's not going to be sent to a, for example, private or an official sector. Number 2, you need to give a short description about the place that you visited, like the name of the place, the location, why are you there? Did you visit this place for weekend trip? Are you there for business trip? Just mention the purpose and tell me what is special about the place. For example, give me a descriptive adjective. It's wonderful. It's amazing. Let's move to the second paragraph, which is the body. Now, here is where you need to include details. Which details? The sensory details. Include the 5 senses as well as descriptive adjectives. The 5 senses, as we have spoken about before, things you see, things you hear, things you smell, you taste, and feel. Don't forget, you need to use descriptive adjectives like great weather, amazing view, because you need to put the reader in an actual view when he reads. Of course, we end up our letter with a conclusion here where you need to state your feelings. Was it good? Are you happy? Will you repeat this thing again or not? Then the closing remarks. Don't forget, it should be informal because, again, I'm telling you and I'm emphasizing, you're sending this letter to your friend. Now, let's go to a very important advice. Before you write, you need to organize your ideas in any chart. Here is an example of flower chart. It has 5 senses written in each sector. You need to specify details regarding the looking sense, the sound sense, the smell, the taste, and the feeling. Write them, organize them. It will help you further in writing a descriptive email. Now, let me ask you this question, my dear students. If you were asked to describe a city, what details will you include in describing sensory details? Choose any city that you know or that you have visited recently. Write sensory details about the place. You can write in a minute and I'll get back to you. So, here are some suggested answers regarding the sensory details about a city or any place. Regarding the look, tourist attractions, restaurants. You can see tourist attractions, of course, and you can see restaurants. You could add extra examples. For example, you can say, I can see the hotel, I can see the sparkling water. Sounds. Birds chirping and music. They both determine sounds. You can hear the sound of birds, you can hear music, you can hear people singing. Anything has to do with hearing could be classified as sound. You could smell flowers, you could smell the baking from the bakery. You can taste fresh fruits, barbecue, anything else that you have written, and it has to do with taste could be correct. Finally, the feel. Hot sun and fresh air. Of course, you will feel the heat from the hot sun and you could feel the fresh air. These are just an example. You can add or omit some of these ideas according to the place or to the thing that you're going to describe in your email. Now, let's see what is the chosen topic because I am going to write with you, and don't forget to write down notes while watching. Describe a place you have recently visited to your friend in a letter. Pay attention. When I say to your friend, here I mean that it is informal. And you're going to write a letter. So we need to follow up the structure that I have spoken about before. Let's start with the introduction. Hi, Ben. Pay attention. I haven't said dear Mr. or Mrs. I'm just saying hi because it's informal. I hope you're doing well and everything is okay at home. Again, the word okay is not used in formal expressions. Here, it's fine to use it because it's informal. I really liked my trip to Istanbul the last weekend. Here, the place that I'm going to describe is the city of Istanbul. It could be any other place that you like, my dear students. Let's see. My hotel was by the beach, in which I used to wake up to the sound, pay attention, of the waves every morning. I included sensory detail related to the sense of hearing, waves. It was so peaceful and relaxing, and here I'm including adjectives or descriptive adjectives. It's a beautiful city. Beautiful, again, is a descriptive adjective. This is the way that you should start your informal email describing a place. Let's move now to the first part of the body. I have visited many places here, like famous restaurants, to try their traditional Turkish food. So I'm talking about taste. One of the restaurants was amazing. The first thing I loved was the smell of the live barbecue. So I am talking again here about the sense of smelling. Moreover, the restaurant has a bakery. Bakery means things you see and things that you could even smell. And they bake fresh cinnamon rolls. We did this at the previous exercise, if you remember. Cinnamon rolls, we classified it in the taste and in the smelling. They taste as good as they smell. So now the reader could imagine the taste and the smell. They also have traditional art on the walls. When I say art on the walls, it means I'm fascinated by the view, which means I'm using my eyes. They are wonderful. Moreover, they pay attention, quiet and calm music. Calm music refers to the hearing sense at the restaurant, which makes me feel so relaxed. Relaxed is the feeling. Can you see how many sensory details we have written about in the body? Because it's essential, and you need to include description in the body. Let's move to the second part of the body. After a long day, I returned to the hotel for a break before dinner. I went down to the beach alone to walk. The sand was still warm from the sun. The word or the adjective warm is giving you the sense of feeling. I also found a lot of beautiful shells, things that you can see, and let's go on, which are as smooth as glass. Again, it has to do with the feeling, my dear students. Let's move to the conclusion. I miss you. Now, when I say I miss you, it's so obvious that it is informal expression. And I wish you were here. Next time, let's plan a vacation here if possible. Love and regards. This is the closing remarks. And again, I'm telling you it's informal. Frank is a suggested name. Before I finish this lesson, I will ask you to write a description of any place you have recently visited to your friend. Again, I'm telling you, when I say to your friend, I'm emphasizing that it's informal. You could refer back to your book, which is Project Success 1, English 802, page 96. You have to include sensory details. Don't forget. We come to the end of our lesson. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. See you soon. Goodbye.